Auburn Baseball is on a winning streak. Let's talk about it. What is up, Auburn family? What is up Tempo family? Welcome in tonight. We're here to talk some Auburn baseball, and I have a special guest here to join me, and that is Mr. Jet Johnston, relief pitcher for your Auburn Tigers. Jet, man, glad to have you. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. We just finished up a weekend in Arlington and got a nice sweep, got a top 10 win, and the boys are just absolutely feeling it right now.
Love to hear that, man. Look, that was absolutely electric. You guys going out there to Arlington, getting the job done, getting a top 10 win. I'll start there with Oregon State. Kind of walk me through that game and the top 10 matchup and the history of Oregon State baseball, and guys getting the dub and you coming in to close it out. And I always get fired up with how you show your emotions, man, and you get that last out and you get fired up, and I think it just sends a message to the entire team, in my opinion, Jet.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll start from the top. I guess I'm just going to start with saying, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and he allows me to play this great game of baseball, and I just can't thank him enough. And he blesses me and blesses my family, and he's a big part of this team, and he's a big part of my life. So I just want to put that out there for the record. But going into Arlington, we knew we were going to have our hands full, for sure. So we got a big win over Ohio State. The boys were feeling good, and we knew we were going to have a challenge for sure. Whenever we got to the ballpark on Saturday, and we kind of we talked for a little bit before the game, and it was just, how do we go out and continue to keep playing the same brand of baseball that we've been playing? Just relentless at bats with two strikes. I think we had 7 RBI with 2 strikes. We were just putting it together at the plate, and pitchers, we're filling it up. Our big key this year is 60% strikes. We got to be at 60% strikes overall before we can take the sting out of the swing or try to do anything crazy in there. So, every game we touch on that. We start from the basics. Hitters have good at bats, relentless with 2 strikes. Pitchers do your job, fill up the zone, 60% strikes. That was pregame. We're fired up. We're not really thinking all right, we got to go get a top 10 win. Man, we're the underdogs. We ain't got nothing to lose. Let's go punch somebody in the mouth. That's what we're thinking. And we got off to a hot start. I mean, I think it was either we scored 2 first and then they scored 2. It was they punch, we punch. They punch, we punch. And I think it was the 3rd or 4th inning, and we kind of started to take away a little bit. And it was 5-2, and they score a run, and it's 5-3, and then we hit a big knock and put us up 7-3, and it's probably halfway through the game. I mean, it's just an electric stadium. I mean, yeah, that's a big stadium, and it's hard to make that thing loud because, I mean, that thing seats, I don't even know how many people it seats in Globe Life. 50,000 more, maybe. I don't know.
It looked massive.
A ton of people. So, but no, it was loud, man. It was electric in there. But so it was starting to get towards the end of the game a little bit. Parker Carlson ended up giving up a home run that brought him a little bit back, but he punched right back. He went out and got 3 punches in a row right after he gave up that homer. That's big time. That's big time. And anyways, we get to the ninth. We're up 2 runs, and Murph gets the ball. Hayden Murphy gets the ball. He's a dog, by the way.
Yep.
And he just doesn't have his stuff today. He's a little bit off, a little bit shaky. Fastball's not quite there. Gives up a walk, a hit there, and then he ends up giving up a run. So it's 7-6. And we got a runner on first base. As soon as Murph went out into the game, they said, Jet, let's start playing catch just in case something happens, in case something crazy happens. So, when he starts warming up, I start throwing off the mound a little bit, just making sure I'm ready in case something happens. And obviously it went a little bit sideways there in the ninth inning. And we had 1 out, runner on first base, and my name was called. And man, I was just fired up. Like I had adrenaline like crazy. Like I've never had that much adrenaline before. And I'm usually like 92, 94, touching a 5. And
Yeah.
I remember I step on the mound. My first warm up pitch is 96. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. And anyways, so first batter, we were right in the middle of their lineup. It was 3-4 hole, and I threw 3 straight sliders to the 3 hole, and he wanted nothing to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
So got a punch out. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Got 2 outs, run on first base. And then the 4 hole comes up. His name's Gavin Turley. I think he's probably a first rounder this year. Good player. Knew that I was going to have to have a good plan of attack to get this guy out. And I executed it, and I went first pitch slider. He swung through it, and then I went a cutter in, and he fouled it off, and I had him 0-2. And I tried to just rear back and throw one as hard as I could. Missed out a little bit. Hit a 97 though. And anyways, threw a last pitch slider, probably the worst slider I've thrown in my career. Just want to put that out there. And he hit it a long ways, but it ended up staying in the ballpark. I will say that the entire Oregon State section was going absolutely nuts, and our whole section went quiet. And then when Bristol Carter caught that ball in center field, man, it was just a total switch. And man, I just blew a casket on there. I was just so fired up that we got that win. I'm sure everyone's seen the video by now, but it was an electric win, and just a huge morale for the guys. But yeah, that was a really cool game, and probably the biggest moment in a game so far of my college career that I've gotten the ball in.
That's awesome, man. That's special stuff. I told you before we hit record, me and my family, we're talking, and my he's like, man, I like that guy. And he's like, he brings it, man. He's like, that's what I want to see, it's good, man. I think it energizes the team. I think it sends a message to these guys that this year is much different than last year. But at the beginning of the year, we had a hiccup against Holy Cross, Jet, and it's baseball. It happens. You're going to lose weird games, and sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way. It's baseball. What was the message to the team after that game? You come out the next day, you take care of business, and you've been on a roll ever since. You're on a 10-game heater, man, like 11-1. You're ranked 22nd in D1 baseball, top 25. Like, was there a message, or was it just keep going to work?
Yeah. I think it was a little bit of both. I would say that BT wasn't happy for sure. It was a big wake up call, and I would say everyone outside of our 40 guys probably thought that was just the worst loss of all time, and this year's already going bad. And I think from that game, what we took away was it doesn't matter who we're playing. Like, we have to go out and punch somebody in the mouth every day because it's baseball, man. Like, it really is. Like, it doesn't matter who's the better team. Obviously, we were the better team. Obviously, yeah. Right? But we didn't play like it. We sure as heck didn't play like it. So it was just a wake up call, I think. We definitely had just a player meeting after the game, like. Yeah. Nothing like jumping ship or anything, but just like, hey guys, like, make sure we're staying on top of this, and this, and make sure we're picking guys up and, bringing the energy in the dugout. And I think that what a better time to lose a game than the first weekend, right?
Yep.
What a better time for a wake up call? Just like, all right, like we thought we were this, but we didn't play to that. So like we gotta show up and be who we are, not play. I actually casted a vision the other day for our team. We're doing this thing, and each player stands up in front of the team, has a short video or a picture of what their vision is for the team this year. And we're
Okay.
probably 75% of the way through with it. And I did mine this past weekend. And mine was a picture of our next like 5 games, and it was our schedule. And I changed our opponent to the game, every single one of them. The game, the game, the game. And I think it just comes down to that. Like,
Yeah.
like it don't matter who we're playing, man. Like, this is Auburn baseball. Like, we know what we are. We know what we got. Like, let's just go out and be us. And I think that was just a wake up call for us. We weren't worried. We just realized, like, all right, let's just go be us, man. This doesn't hurt us. Like, it might make us an underdog or whatever, but we like that. We want that chip on our shoulder. We don't want to be number 1 or number 2 starting off the year.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to be ranked. Like, screw that. Like, we want to go get after somebody and beat a top 10 team when we're not ranked. And like, all right, man, like these guys are coming. Like, you better be ready. And I think that's the message that we're sending right now.
Well, I'll tell you this: we're ranked ahead of Alabama, and that's what I like. So, Jet, I know you're from Knoxville and all that. We'll get into that in a little bit, but that means something to Auburn fans right there, baby. So that's a big accomplishment for us. We always want to be ahead of them in everything we do. But man, I love that. I love the team chemistry. And the reason I brought the Holy Cross thing up is because we have a little game day group chat here on the Uptempo podcast, right? And the live chat, they're over here rolling, and everybody was on me, man. They were like, "Hey, what happened to this Auburn offense you were telling us about? Leading up to the season, we're out here scoring 2 runs against Holy Cross," and I was like, "Oh no!" Like, and I was like, "Look, guys," I was like, "First weekend of the season." I was like, pitching's ahead of hitting. I was like, good pitching always shuts good hitting down. Like, it happens, they've spent all fall, facing each other. Like, they get out here, they finally get to face somebody else. And, we just had a bad weekend. And boy, you guys come out and you've been killing it ever since. And I think the one game that really turned it around for me, Jet, was the Troy game. And I think when you guys battled back that night and you found a way to beat a ranked Troy team, an in-state rivalry, where if they would have beat us, they would have been talking trash. They brought some fans to the game. You could hear them on the broadcast, and there was some intensity in the stadium that night, in the ballpark. And I really felt like once we won that game and the way we won it, and fighting back and, losing that lead. And I just kind of sat there and I was like, man, that's such a big win. Like, midweeks go unnoticed. And I'll tell you a big thing, like, nowadays is people look at a baseball schedule and they're like, oh, they're playing Sanford, whatever. And I'm like, hey, do you know who come from Sanford? I got into it with a guy on Twitter the other day. And he was like, Sanford's terrible. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, Sonny DeShera come from Sanford, if you didn't know. I was like, he's an Auburn great. And he played here one season. Like, dude hit 400, like, come on, man. These teams, and now with the portal, it's not just some cupcake walk-through midweek game. These schools are getting athletes, man. And just that Troy game, did it feel like to you that was like a big boost of confidence for this team?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. That was our midweek right after we just lost to Holy Cross, right?
Exactly.
So obviously, like, we weren't. I think the first weekend, everyone was just a little bit tight. Like, everyone's like, we had like 3 or 4, like 3 freshmen playing on opening day. Like, these guys haven't had any at bats in college. Like they don't know what it's like. Like they played in front of a crowd for the first time in their life. Like, and I think that after that weekend, our guys just kind of took a deep breath and were like, all right, let's just go focus one game at a time. You know, we're not trying to get to 50 wins. We're not trying to get to 60 wins, 40 wins, none of that. We're trying to win game 3 because we were 2-1. We're trying to win game 3 against Troy. Game 3, we need to get to 3 wins. And 100% that was a huge win for us. You know, I think the talk kind of changed a little bit. You know, in-state rival, ranked, whatever. Like, you know, all right, you know, we're coming. Like, just give us a little bit. We're gonna heat up. And I think it just brought so much confidence to our guys. 100% brought confidence. It was a big win for sure.
Man, massive win. And like I said, you guys are on a heater right now, 10 in a row. And, you know, you talk about those freshmen, Jet, and these guys are amazing. I mean, these guys are on a roll. It's been so fun to watch. I mean, that ball Rembert hit. Oh my goodness. I said, and what's crazy is the broadcast was like, you're really going to have to get a hold of one to get it out of here. Like, this place is so big, you know, like you really got to just get behind one. And all of a sudden Rembert just, whoo. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, that ball is gone, you know?
Yeah.
Bub Terrell, like everything he's done, man, like these cats, I mean, they're the truth, man. Yeah. Chase Fralick. You know, he adds so much to the lineup, being able to catch, play third, you know, he can DH in that spot. Man, it's fun to watch right now, Jet. Like how do these guys work, like behind the scenes? Are they go-getters, man? Are they everyday guys that just show up and go to work?
Yeah. Well, so I'm a two-way. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah.
So I'm a position player. I'm an outfielder.
Yep.
So I go to work with these guys every day. Like I don't really do my practice with pitchers necessarily. Like I do all my throwing stuff with the pitchers, but you know, I take BP every day. I take fly balls and ground balls with these guys. You know, and I think it's just what BT has installed in this program. There's no off day. Like today was an off day for us. Every single person in this locker room showed up today. Every single person came and hit. Every single person came and threw. Every single person came in and got their treatment. Everybody got in the cold tub. Everybody got in the hot tub. We're taking care of our bodies. Like everybody's working so hard right now. Like, and that's how it's gonna have to be, man. Like we're about to start the SEC, and like we're about to be playing some dogs. Like we played Oregon State the other day, and like every game is gonna be like that. Like
no doubt.
So it's huge. Like yeah, these freshmen are absolutely doing an incredible job right now, and everyone's working really hard. And we just got to keep our head right here and just steam forward, and you know we just keep taking care of business.
Well, Jet, I wanna really hone in on you, man. And I know you said two-way guy, you know, and I know you're a utility. And I think that's one great thing about this Auburn team is we have so many utility guys. Like you got Ike Irish who can catch and then go out to right field or first base, or, you know, like we said, Fralick, you know, Rembert, he can do infield, outfield. I mean, there's so many of these guys. You know, I think what's incredible is you, like you said, you can play outfield, you can go step on the bump. I love that, you know, and that's what makes the lineup so great is you have options, you have guys, you have dudes that you can just plug in. But I wanted to hone in on you, and you know, you leave Texas A&M and you're looking for a new home. What was it about Auburn and this baseball program, and what led you to the decision to come to Auburn?
So I was up in Chatham this summer in the Cape, and Ike Irish was on my team, John Armstrong was on my team, and Hayden Murphy was on my team. So that's 3 guys from Auburn, way more than any school has on one team. Okay. And I hit the portal pretty early, right when it happened, and like it was just immediate. Like, dude, you're coming to Auburn. Like I clicked. Like I mean, I got to summer ball, and those guys were already there, obviously, because their season ended short last year, and
Mm-hmm.
we were playing a little later, and like I had a great time this summer, and I made a lot of friends, and there was a lot of dudes on my team that I really liked, but man, I could just tell right away that like if these are the guys, Ike, Murph, and John, like I'm clicking with these guys right now, like. I want to go see what Auburn's about. Like everyone's like this, like, man, like take me there. And everyone here is like that. Like everyone just like these guys just care, man. Like everybody loves each other, like I said. And I talked to the coaches obviously a lot. And I didn't get to take a visit here, but I was sort of similar or familiar with Auburn, and I didn't get recruited here out of high school. But I've always known that Auburn's a very prestige university, and it's very beautiful, and the sports teams are awesome. So
Yeah.
whenever I got the opportunity, there was no question in my mind after talking to the coaches that I wanted to come here, especially with all of those ballpark renovations that happened.
Oh man, that was so huge. And we talked a little bit about it before we hit record. I think it's so massive for the program to add the seating and the club seats, the Hall of Fame stuff. I think it's massive to have a statue of Frank Thomas out front of the ballpark. Like that's big, man. I just the one guy in the SEC that's in the MLB Hall of Fame, and he's got a statue outside of your park. I think that's incredible. Um, you know, Down the right field line, that was just an open space for so many years. There was nothing there. And every time I went to Plainsman, I was like, man, we're just so far behind. Like, this isn't the box. This isn't Bluebell. Like, it's nothing compared to this. And it's just, you, you go out to Arkansas and what Dave Van Horn's created out there. Like, we're getting there. We're slowly but surely getting there. And I told you for years I used to look up at the monster and be like, man, it'd be so cool if they put seats up there. And now, you can stand up there and you got your little student section out in right center and all that stuff. I mean, we're trying. We're trying. And I think that is a big, big plus for the program. But one thing I wanted to ask you, Jet, is I know a two-way guy, I'm just, it popped into my mind real quick. Would you rather, let's say, guy on second, bottom nine, 2 outs, let's just say you're in the outfield. Let's say you're playing left. Base hit, you nail the guy. It's a one-run game. You nail the guy at the plate for the assist, right? You win the game. Or you're up one, runner on second, 2 outs. You got the ball on the bump. You need the third out. Which one would you rather do?
Well, when you put it like that, give me the ball on the mound.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the ball, man. Give me the ball.
I figured you would say that. I just I had to ask it because I love the emotion that you show, and like I said earlier, man, you pumping your chest, and I think it just radiates through the team, and guys just get up for that, and I think you bring it, man. Every time you toe the rubber, you bring it. But I wanted to ask you a little. I know you're from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I wanted to ask you, Knoxville to Auburn, and I think, like we were talking about, you didn't take a visit to Auburn, but I don't think you have to when you go to SEC towns because they're all fairly similar to me. Like, what you're going to get. We're Southern folks. We're all about hospitality. We got great food. The scenery is immaculate. It's all going to be the same thing. We're very passionate about our sports. But I gotta ask you, your favorite place to eat in Knoxville, your favorite place to eat in Auburn, man. Like, what you got? I need to hear it.
All right. So I live about 15 minutes from downtown Knoxville,
Okay.
right off campus in a little town called Farragut. One of the best high school baseball teams in the country, by the way.
Okay.
And I would say downtown Knoxville, I would say probably Cafe 4. It's
Okay.
right there on Market Square, right in the middle of downtown. Just unbelievable food. Like it's just so good, and been there probably 25 times. Like it's like one of my favorites, and it's
Yeah.
not cheap. It's not cheap, but I would say in Auburn, um, don't hate on me, but Moe's Barbecue, man.
Okay.
Moe's Barbecue. Come
Okay.
on now.
Moe's is down here in Mobile. I'm from Mobile, Alabama, so
Okay.
it's down here in Mobile. Moe's is very big. Mardi Gras just ended today, and Moe's is like the place, man, during Mardi Gras. Like, you got to go get you some Moe's barbecue. So yeah, I know you're gonna catch some hate for that one, but no, I'm kidding, man. Uh, Auburn fans, they have multiple things there in Auburn, and a lot of people, I got my own little thing. Like, um, I'm not, I'm a big Fusakli's guy and everything like that. Like, I like the chicken fingers, man, and um, I know people go crazy over what is it, Sheila C's, or like they go crazy over that, or what is it, Little Italy and all that. So uh, I don't know. Apparently there was something else, the gooey fries or whatever that I put on Twitter one day. I was like, man, gooey fries are trash. They get soggy too quick. And people were like, "You're crazy! Like, that's the worst take of all time." And I was like, "I'm sorry, I just don't like them." Like,
Yeah.
I don't like soggy fries. I don't like when they get like that. But
I'm with you. I'm with you.
yeah, man. So, what is your pregame playlist, man? What kind of tunes do you like listening to?
Man, I don't like listening to rock music except
Yeah.
pregame. Except pregame. Give it
Okay.
to me. I need it. I need it. It anything Alice in Chains. Let's see. Uh, Aerospace.
Yeah.
Um, I just like it all. Like anything that's like hard rock before the game, it's playing in here. It's playing in
Okay.
here. Our guys are getting going to it. I would say like away from the field, like I like country music a lot. Like country music, 100% from Knoxville, from Texas originally. Like big country guy. But before the game, if I'm trying to get locked in, I want rock music for sure.
Are we a Morgan Wallen guy?
We are a Morgan Wallen guy.
Okay.
We are. We are.
All right. The reason I had to ask you that because Morgan come to Mobile like 2 years ago, and me and my wife, we got tickets, and my wife's huge Morgan Wallen fan, and so it was at the fairgrounds, and they have it in this big open field at the fairgrounds, and they were on the news, and they were like, "Hey, you better get there early. There's going to be 31,000 people there." And I was like, "Man," I was like, "No shot, 31,000 people standing at the fairgrounds." I was like, "No way." Jet, we get there, and once we got to where we were standing, there was no turning back. There was no turning back, brother. I looked back, and it was 31,000 deep, and Morgan come out. And he got a he got the little thing on his phone, the alert saying, "Hey, Ziegler Boulevard is shut down because of Morgan Wallen." And he was like, "Hey, man," he was like, "I ain't never got this at a concert." He was like, "This is badass," And so it was pretty cool, man. I'm a big Morgan Wallen guy, and I figured with you being Knoxville and all that. Yeah, man.
He went to high school like 30 minutes from where I live.
Really?
And, yeah, and he got on a podcast, and we were watching this whenever I was back in Knoxville over Christmas. But he got on a podcast, and apparently he was there playing at our ballpark in Farragut, like Knoxville.
Yeah.
And he hit a bomb against us, flipped his bat, and then was coming around third base and flipping the bird.
Man.
Electric.
Yeah, that dude, man. Yeah, Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, Jet, man. Hey, look, I know I told you we'd keep it short and sweet, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hopping on with me, man. It means the world to me. Like I said, I'm very passionate about Auburn baseball, and getting just to hear some of the things about this team, man, and you sharing that with us here at the Uptempo podcast. It really means the world to me, Jet. And, I wish you luck. I wish you tell the team, man, we're all rooting for you. We think the world of you guys. I'll be up there in a couple weeks for SEC play. And, man, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It was a blast, and can't wait to just keep doing what we're doing and just keep performing for all these Auburn fans. And it's been a blast. So, War Eagle, man.
War damn Eagle, Jet. I appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too. Bye-bye.
Whew, y'all. Jet Johnson. How about that? How about that? That's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. This baseball team is on an absolute heater. We just had Jet Johnson on. I'm a really big Jet guy because, like I said in that little interview, he shows the emotion. He carries it. The beating on the chest, the final out, man. He is the guy. I think he sends vibes throughout that clubhouse. I think he is Mr. Electric. And just another guy for Auburn that can do it all. He can come up and he can hit bombs. He can go play the outfield. He can pitch. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. I think that's one special thing about Auburn baseball this year is we have so many of those guys. We have Rembert, you got Fralick, like we talked about, Ike, all these guys. Fabian, he can move around the dirt. Eric Snow, Eric Guevara, like these guys can all move around, and I think that's great for Auburn. The pitching has been much better. Like Brett, could he be our closer? He might step into that role. We got to figure it out this weekend. Man. That was awesome. Great job, Blake. Thank you, Miss Devin. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll be honest with y'all. That's one of my dreams, man. I didn't start this to make money or do anything like that. I started it to cover Auburn baseball and interview Auburn baseball players and things like that. Like, it's my dream. And getting a guy like that, I'll be honest with you, I sent him a DM on Instagram and he messaged me back in like 2 hours. And I know that they had practice and everything like that in Texas before they flew back and all that. I mean, he messaged me back right away. Class act dude, man. Can't thank Jet enough. And Brett says apparently Wallen would have fit in on the UT ball club. Yeah, he loves the Vols. I'll give him that. But guys, y'all, hey, look, we'll be back tomorrow night to do a reaction for the basketball game that is happening here in about an hour and some change. So go root on this Auburn basketball team. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Share this. Hit the like button. Do whatever you can, man. Let's grow college baseball. Let's grow the sport that we love. And I appreciate y'all. War damn Eagle. I'm out.